Hello, in this demonstration, I am going to do a continuous line warm-up painting using some of these leftover paints on my palette. I'm going to use some Q-tips and a paintbrush. So this is a great way to practice layering, paint interaction in your sketchbook. It's a quick warm-up. Now, I said continuous line. It's going to be continuous as possible, meaning with a pencil I could keep going, but I'm going to run out of paint at a certain point. So I'll have to, wherever I stop, I've got to start again. So here goes. I'm going to start with the Q-tip, which is kind of fun to roll and then use the tip. So I don't have anything in particular in mind in terms of composition. I'm just exploring line using a Q-tip and then a paintbrush. Okay, so now I'm running out. I got to dip again, and I start back up where I ran out. I like the smudgy line of the Q-tip. My only goal is to fill the whole page. I can use any kind of line quality I want. I'm doing sort of a meandering line. Okay, now I'm going to switch to a flat bristle brush. I'll get a wider and brushier line. I'm not using any water here. If you wanted to add water, you could. So I'm allowing lines to overlap, paint to mix. Okay, now I'm going to switch to some orange with a Q-tip. Q-tip holds quite a bit of paint. This is also a great way to practice creating an integrated painted background. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to red. And see that that color and line now sort of dominate the piece. So this is also a bit of a test. If this was a larger painting and this happened, then, and I didn't like that it was so dominant, then what I would do is layer on some more of those other colors to knock it back. So I'm going to try and do that with the blue, bringing back the lighter blue. Obviously, the more I layer, a lot of the white from the background starts closing in. And it gets slightly muddier. Often painters would let this dry and then work back into it so it wouldn't be so muddy. Okay, but this is just a warm-up test, seeing what paint can do. Scratch into it, some sgraffito. Let's see what else I can add here. I'm going to use my silicone spatula. This isn't as much, well, actually you can kind of do a continuous line with it. So from this, I can see how different size brushes and thicknesses of paint and layering changes the piece pretty rapidly. So what I would do is grab maybe 2 or 3 colors or what's on your leftover palette. This is a great thing to do with leftover palette colors, just to see spontaneously how colors interact, mix, layer. And if it turns to mud, like my thing, that's okay. It's just a quick study. But there's a nice energy going on with that. I could potentially use that as a background for a piece if I wanted to. Okay.